Speculation runs deep on who will be VEEP as Biden and Trump clinch nominations. Discussion has now turned to potential VPs. That's short for Vice President, Michelle. But what of RFK Jr.? The third-party candidate recently said he's considering New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers and former pro wrestler and Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura. One is an elite athlete, and the other one played for the Jets.
Oh!
Hey, Jesse Ventura was a Navy SEAL.
I know. Both are reportedly open to the idea. RFK also reached out to Tulsi Gabbard, Rand Paul, and Andrew Yang, all of whom declined. So far, he hasn't asked Asa Hutchinson, Carly Fiorina, or Mike Huckabee. He's still waiting to hear back from Ross Perot.
Oh.
Ooh. He'll still get 18%. Meanwhile, President Trump is considering at least a dozen potential VPs, including South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, and former HUD Secretary Ben Carson. But seems to me he's overlooking the obvious strong candidate. Yeah. No one says you can't pick yourself. I do that all the time when I'm choosing sex partners.
Oh, God.
I know. I probably should have just ended it with a picture.
Big laugh from the wife tonight on that one.
Yeah. Joe, is RFK telling us he's not serious, or is he trying to be careful not to pick somebody that will look like it's either right or left?
Well, he made a big mistake in suggesting two people who are more well-known than he is. Yeah. You don't want to do that, because your vice president's supposed to be like that little tiny tire you put on when you have a flat.
Yes.
It's just there in an emergency to get you where you need to go.
Right, that's
but
good.
It's not like you want to have a car with all four tires.
Yes.
Being like that. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting picks. I mean, as soon as Aaron Rodgers heard that, he jumped for joy and shredded his Achilles tendon and completely came off his leg. And can we please refer to Jesse Ventura as Jesse the Body Ventura? That is his actual name. I think the VP is important, unfortunately, because we have guys who are so old this time around. That's not good. We should have younger people so the VP can do what they're supposed to do, which is go to funerals of people you've never heard of in other countries.
Very true. Kat, you're a huge sports fan, aren't you? Aaron Rodgers leans libertarian. Is that appealing to you?
Yeah, but RFK is not a libertarian.
I know.
That's just something people kind of say on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
She lives it.
My favorite, honestly, is people saying that Trump needs to pick a woman to get votes from women, as if women never don't like another woman. Like, never happens. You'll never hear a woman look at another woman and say, I don't like her.
Yeah.
Some of the meanest things I've heard in my whole life have come from women.
Yeah.
It's so true. It is.
And men can hate you and still want you.
True.
Tyrus, should we be asking Aaron Rodgers to be running for anything?
Yeah, why not? You know, they trip and stumble. Listen, Joe makes a great point. It'll be, if Aaron Rodgers was the VP, it would be the VP would be on the cover of everything. It would be, JFK would be in the back, and he'd be like, I am the president, you know. But there's slim none in hell's not going to, they got no shot. JFK's got no, the independent thing's not going to go anywhere. Otherwise, it'd be bigger names wanting to be, you know, because Aaron's been in the league a long time. He's only won once. Mm-hmm. So it's not a very good record. Jesse the Body Ventura he would be a good VP, but again, he's got so much, there's so much between, you can't have two crazy, controversial people like JFK and Jesse the Body. It's
RFK.
fun. Yeah, RFK, whatever. Yeah. I'm just, like we keep talking about him, like we got to be honest sometimes. It's cute, cool, sounds good, but it ain't happening.
Yeah.
But the more important issue with this whole thing is we just need to. I have some insider information, and yet you've been pressuring me and bugging me. Fine, okay, fine. It's me. Okay, I'm running. I'm VP. If I can't go, hold on. If I can't go, Tim Scott's going to take it.
Oh, there you go.
If I can't go, you know, it depends on, you know, if you're going to give me those days off. Go to those, what is it, the dead people we don't know funerals? That's the only thing.
I think Trump should pick all 4 of them for his VP and then have them compete to see who makes it to the next round.
You're fired. You're fired. Right. You're fired.
Yeah.
Yes.
Michelle, I think his choices were designed not to look partisan, because my theory is that so he would, as a third party, would get a large percentage, I think, and if Trump loses, then the right's going to blame RFK.
Yep.
If Biden loses, they're going to blame RFK.
Yep.
So he has to thread this needle where he picks somebody that isn't from the right or left.
Well, it's interesting. I know for a fact that Aaron Rodgers received interest from another candidate as well.
Ooh.
So this is not the first candidate that's talked to Aaron Rodgers. Vivek Ramaswamy. So it is the truth.
Yeah.
I know this for a fact. So that it's really interesting how Aaron keeps coming up. I think it's the whole COVID stance and all of that made him very popular with a lot of people. I lived in Minnesota under Jesse Ventura. I wouldn't recommend this at all. At all. So I think you're right. That's just 2 kind of crazy people. I don't think either of them is going to end up being his pick, but it is interesting that unlike in the other parties, he has to present his pick in order to get on the ballot.
Yeah.
So it's a really fascinating thing. And I kind of think that presidential candidates should get out there and go, you know what? Before the convention, here's who's going to be my this. Here's who's going to be my Secretary of State. Here's my team. Mm-hmm. Because I think that makes you all the more desirable to a lot of different people if they know who's on your team.
He's presenting this, by the way, in Oakland for some reason. Who lives in Oakland? I don't know.
Hard to say, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who lives. I mean, I have a friend that lives in Oakland, but he's in real estate. I don't know, and he's really lazy. But he doesn't watch this show.
Well, boo.
Up next is your baby thinking about race behind his chubby little face.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.